So let's start understanding the concept closure, which is very important in JavaScript. So I'm using code sandbox and I have this function which starts from here till line number 1 till line number 7. So this is the outer function which contains this inner function, and in line number 9 we are calling this function, and as soon as we call this function we know in line number 2 let counter. So that means counter variable is getting created and is also initialized at the same time with 0. And then in line number 3 we are returning this function. Whoever is calling the outer function will get inner function. Okay, so here this increment in line number 9 will get inner function inside it. Okay, then in order to execute the inner function we need to call this. So now we are calling it in line number 10 increment. So as soon as we are calling it, we are getting 1. How? Because we have 0 initialized, and then we are doing counter plus plus, so that's how 0 plus 1, that is 1. So plus plus is here, plus plus is nothing but a shorthand operator for plus 1. Okay, so that's how we are getting 1. But then you are surprised that again if increment is getting called, why it is 2. So we will understand this, because this is how whenever you're creating whenever you're calling this outer, so this is creating its own execution context. A new closure is getting formed and it is assigning a value 0. But here you have called outer only once, right? After that you have called increment 1 two times. So first time it has printed 1, and second time because it already holds that memory, the counter here is 1, so it will do 1 plus 1, that is 2. So that's why. But then again I have called this outer. Okay, again we have called this outer function. So what it will do now, the second execution context will get created, which is independent of the first one. So again it will do the same thing, initialize to 0, counter plus plus 1, and then that's how it will print 1, and then we are again calling increment 2. So again counter, it will not go here this time because we are not calling counter, we are calling increment 2. So increment 2 contains the this function, inner function, and inner function, because this is a closure, so it holds that value which is previous value is 1, so it will do 1 plus 1 2. So you can remember is it a closure that closures are like backpacks which functions carry around with variables they captured when created. So as soon as we are calling outer, it has its own